segment is brought to you by Powerade. Pause for power with Powerade. Minute Maid. Real like you're at home. And Dasani. Connect mind and body.
These are what Tuesday night's results look like in the NBA. 76ers beating the Kings. Bucks are downing the Warriors. Rockets taking care of the Suns. The Jazz beating the Pelicans. And the Celtics toppling the Lakers. Now, the Celtics win over the Lakers was their 22nd in the league this season. That's a league best. And it was a wild game against their fierce rivals. The Lakers looked well on their way to registering a 12th win of the season, but somehow managed to blow a 13-point fourth quarter lead in the final moments of regulation.
Buckle up. Game of the night. Greatest rivalry in the game. Two iconic organizations, Lakers and Celtics. Boston, best record in the NBA, but they've struggled losing the last couple of games, including the night before to the Clippers. Start off with Tatum, who has been struggling from the field, starting to feel himself, getting right after rough shooting nights against the Clippers and the Warriors. Here, Tatum puts Boston up by 15. LeBron would respond right down the lane here. He lays it in for two. Then some defense. LeBron, the interception. And then LeBron, an iconic LeBron dunk. Show it off for all of L.A. LeBron and company cut into the deficit, 10-point game. Marcus Smart gets it over to Jaylen Brown. And then Smart again, capping an 8-0 Celtics run. They led it 60-45. Looked like Boston was in control here. Patrick Beverley blows a tire, misses the layup there. Jaylen Brown, long range to Blake Griffin, who gets it to Jason Tatum, who scores and one. It was a 65-50 Boston lead at the half. Third quarter, Tatum splash. 79-59, 20-point lead. Boston in cruise control. And yeah, take the opportunity to say hi to everybody in the crowd. But here comes Russell Westbrook, putting it up to Anthony Davis. Westbrook to Davis, good combo there. Here's a good one as well. LeBron the steal and takes it all the way down. Hold on, friends. All of a sudden, what was a 20-point lead down to 10. The Celtics turn it over again. They had a whole bunch of them in the third quarter into the fourth, and Anthony Davis is there for the putback. LeBron sending it off the glass. AD there. It was an 8-point game, 88-80. Russell Westbrook coming up big as AD and LeBron exhausted down the stretch here. Westbrook hits the three, and then LeBron, the step back, part of an 18-0 run. That run would extend a major drought for the Celtics. They'd go more than 6 minutes without scoring, and they'd be watching a show in Hollywood. Anthony Davis soaring for the alley-oop. Then LeBron from downtown. And then more from LeBron, this time taking Grant Williams strong to the cup. Part of a 32-5 Laker run. They were up 105-93 after being down by 20. And here comes Russell Westbrook. Wow. But the Celtics able to come back. After that scoring drought, Tatum gets hot down the stretch. First Tatum, then a Smart triple. Marcus Smart, clutch. Anthony Davis would miss 2 free throws, which would have put the Lakers up by 4. Instead, it's a 2-point game. Tatum on LeBron, the turnaround. You bet, we're tied at 110. An opportunity for LeBron to end it and ice the epic comeback. LeBron's bucket comes up short, so we go to overtime in the extra session. The Lakers were just exhausted. Meanwhile, on the second night of a back-to-back, Jason Tatum puts on an absolute show, and then the dagger coming from Jaylen Brown. After blowing a 20-point lead, the Celtics come back and win it in overtime. How about Jason Tatum, the MVP candidate, 44 points on 15 of 29 shooting.
So Tatum had the 44 points for the Celtics on the night, and he said after the game that their head coach, Joe Mazzulla, singled him and other teammates out, demanding that they raise their game.
I mean, that's exactly what he said, you know. He pointed me out, you know, basically told me that it starts with me. Last game I played and he basically, he told me that, told me that, the way I play, the rest of the guys gonna follow. And he went down the line, went down to JB, went down to Smart. Said it was our responsibility, and that if we want to be, champions, if we want to get to that point, that it's a responsibility each and every night, and that nobody's going to take it easy on us. And people watch games and know that we got the best record. Golden State knew that, and they're a prideful team. Clippers knew that, prideful team. And tonight, it's going to be tough every night, and we just got to remind ourselves that every time we get on the floor.
Our NBA expert, Alistair Albert, who's dabbling in some football for the moment. He joins us to talk about the NBA. Alistair, welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, definitely sticking to basketball. But yeah, love the outcome. The guys with it.
All right, my friend. All right. So we were talking off camera as the results were rolling. How the Celtics had a madcap few minutes in that game, because several occasions they ran up the floor and just gave the ball away. Usually, you know how turnovers are. You are pressured on the ball, carrying the ball, and you are forced into a turnover. These would be unforced errors in tennis if that were the sport. But they just ran up the floor and gave the ball to a man in a white shirt, usually LeBron James, and still they came back to it. Is it a case that overtime, after such a high-octane game, the younger team, i.e. the Celtics, had more juice than the old boys, led by LeBron James?
Yeah, it could be a little bit of that, youth kind of showing its legs there basically, and showing that they had the fresher legs to kind of go all the way to the end and kind of pick up the win after, just messing up in the third quarter and just kind of losing the game for themselves, kind of playing into the hands of the Lakers to kind of win that game. But also I think it's a lot of Lakers just doing things that have been very characteristic for them this season, where it's a lot of, taking a lot of outside threes when they're probably easier baskets to take. They're not moving the ball around. They're very stagnant. They're not trying to find open men, back cuts and all that sort of stuff. LeBron James saw 3 of 11 for the night on 3-pointers, and yet he decides to take a step back 3-pointer in the corner to try to win the game instead of trying to get an easier shot or for someone else as well. So I think there is a little bit to play of youth coming in with the Celtics. And also a little bit of that, that Jekyll and Hyde personality the Lakers have had all season, where they don't know who to trust to take the last shot or what to do, or following LeBron James's lead, who is no longer LeBron James probably to follow in that sort of way. So it's a little bit of both, I think. The Lakers giving the game away and the Celtics coming back and taking it and using their youth to help them do that.
Alistair, I want to show you something, if my producer can cue it up. That shot that LeBron took at the last, and you mentioned it, I was going to ask you about it, because I thought a player of his immensely high IQ, when he put the ball down and he approached the first defender and the second one came, I thought this was the moment he would have stick the ball to someone who would have had a mid-range shot or something more simple than him having drawn two players. So if you can slow it down here, hold on. Right. If you look at how the setup is right there, Alistair, I would tell you in a million years, someone as basketball intelligent as he is, I never expected him to take this shot after drawing 3 defenders to him on this possession, notwithstanding the fact that the clock was running down. I thought James would have gone, drawn the defenders, and found somebody else for what would have been the game-winning shot. What say you?
Yeah, definitely. In that situation, when the ball person with the ball, of course, is the one who's going to get the strong side defense, and everyone will collapse on them, obviously kind of creating an opportunity for someone else who's free to take a shot. But you know who I kind of blame on that as well, George? Coaching. Because, a coach supposed to be able to come into that possession and kind of understand what needs to probably happen, or set up a play that will kind of, make decoys or move the defense around in different ways to try to get an open shot. But this is a coaching who we've probably seen with LeBron for quite a few years. Just let LeBron just find a way to do something. He usually makes the right pass and everything. But the last 2 years, what we've seen a lot from LeBron is not trying to make the right pass necessarily, or trying to get a foul or going into the zone. He's now trying to be Steph Curry. He's now trying to take step-back jump shots. And, of course, this year, it's a year that it seems like it's a bit of a wash early on, but it's a compiling year for LeBron. He's there to try to break records and all of that, and he wants to kind of add to his legacy. So trying to win games at the buzzer when you could try to probably get a two-point shot or passing it off to a teammate is probably doesn't fit within his agenda this year possibly. But this is where coaching needs to come in, and guys needed to be held accountable. And that's what I loved about Jason Tatum on the end before. You know, Jason Tatum got into his spot. He got down to the baseline, got a contested fadeaway jumper, but he got a slightly easier shot on the baseline in a spot that he's comfortable with. So this is where you see the difference. LeBron taking a shot that was probably ill-advised, where he should have passed it, and Jason Tatum, yes, taking a difficult shot, but a sweet spot shot for him, and it went in, that forced the game to overtime.
Yeah, a real strange decision there when you have 3 defenders on you. Really not the best decision to have been made by the great LeBron James. That's all the time we have today, Alistair. We'll talk some more as the days and roll on. Who are you carrying for that World Cup final on Sunday, France or Argentina?
Well, I'm France. I'm naturalized French, so I'm going to be back in France all the way. I'm also a bit of a Ronaldo guy, so I kind of don't want Messi to win. So we'll see what happens.
All right, my friend. You had a lot of support in the zone room before you put in the Messi bit, because you have angered several members of the Sportsman Zone team. But I know you're a brave lad. You can take on the challenges.
That's right. We'll see what happens, though.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. All the best. Break time with the Sportsman Zone. Back with more after these.
This segment was brought to you by Powerade. Pause for power with Powerade. Minute Maid. Real like you're at home. And Dasani. Connect mind and body.